I am a level 1 student at Haslamabad campus. Today I feel truly honored and excited to have a very special guest with us, Gabe Gabrielle. She is an inspiring personality who has achieved incredible success in her field, work with top organizations and motivate people around the world with her experience and knowledge. Okay, Sir Gabriel, today short introduction, my interview.
Sure. Well, I would like to say good evening to you in Pakistan. Good morning from here. I'm in Florida, USA. So it's about 8:15 in the morning here. I know it's evening for you. So it's a great opportunity to do the interview. So my name is Gabe. That's a nickname. That's what my friends call me. That's what I ask everyone to call me. I know sometimes because of your culture or age, it's uncomfortable. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You call me anything you like. Um, I was an engineer, civil structural type of engineer at Kennedy Space Center for NASA for 17 years. It was an amazing opportunity just to be around the space program. And about 10 years ago, I kind of got involved in speaking, something I never thought I would do in a million years. But I ended up becoming a speaker, so I've been traveling around the world, speaking at schools and talking about the space program as well as dreams and goals and how to have a happy life. And I've been to Pakistan now 4 times, and I really enjoy Pakistan. And it's not Pakistan so much as you, the kids in Pakistan. You guys are awesome, and I love spending time with you.
Okay, Gabriel sir, my first question to you: what was your childhood dream and did it change over time?
Well, my childhood dream was to go to the beach and play sports. That's all I wanted to do. So I really
Okay.
struggled with many things because I just like the beach and I like sports. And I didn't like school. I hated school. I fought with my parents all the time about what are you going to do, and so it was really a challenge. And I didn't really have any idea what I wanted to do. You know, some kids they know what they want to do. I have a twin sister. She knew at 3 years old what she wanted to do. It's so easy to do something when you don't know what it is. If you don't know, and people are saying, "What are you going to do? What are you going?" and you don't know, it's really a challenge to try to come up with something. So I really didn't have a childhood dream of something I wanted to do other than I wanted to go to the beach and play sports. So I really struggled. I struggled a lot growing up, and as I got older and I got away from my parents, got out on my own, I didn't really look for things. They kind of found me. I became a truck driver. I became an engineer. I got a job for NASA. All of that stuff, it kind of found me. I really didn't look for it. So I'm very, very thankful that the journey has led me to many, very, very interesting things.
Okay, sir, my next question to you: who inspired you the most in your life and career?
Yeah, I look back on different stages in my life, and I think growing up, I had two uncles that were really fun for me. Everyone around me was struggling with finances, and they just always seemed to be struggling. But these two uncles, they were always happy. They were always seemed to be enjoying life, no matter their situation was the same as everybody else. But for some reason, they were able to enjoy it. And I remember looking at them when I was growing up and say, I want to be like them. I don't want to be like these other people who are always complaining. So I never really uh, talked with them about it. They didn't talk with me about it, but it was something that I always remember as a little kid thinking, and that was probably a big influence. As I got a little bit older, you meet other people in life, and you learn from everybody. The biggest thing I can learn from you today. When we do this interview, if I'm willing to listen to you and share thoughts with you, I can learn from you. So I think we learn from everybody, and we take that knowledge, we apply it to our different situations. Maybe some is a little more important than the other, but it's all a building process and willing to learn and willing to listen.
Okay, sir, my next question to you: what does it mean to work in the USA Air Force, US Air Force Special Operation Command?
It was awesome. It was really something. Special operations is a group of people within the military who do many, many things that most people can't do. So I was an engineer assigned to special operations. I really wasn't a special operations person. I wish I would have been, but the training and everything that goes into it. I never had any of that, but being around them and seeing what they do was very inspirational. So it was awesome. Plus, I got to do a lot of cool things. I got to fly in many different types of aircraft, helicopters. I got to do so many fun things that normally, as an engineer, you deal with roads and bridges and buildings. You don't get to fly in all these cool planes, and you don't do get to do all this cool stuff that I was able to do. So it was awesome for me. I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay, sir, my next question to you. What kind of engineering challenges did you face there?
I think one of the things I was doing with special ops is I was traveling around the world to different organizations, helping them with their engineering challenges. People in special operations, they're not dealing with buildings and roofs and air conditioning systems. They really don't have the background and the knowledge to do that. So my job was to travel all around the world where these units were working and help them with whatever problems they had in engineering. So everywhere I went was a little bit different. Each place has different ways of doing things. Each one has rules of doing stuff. So you had to learn and adapt place by place. But it was all fun. It was all a learning experience, and I'm very thankful for the time I spent there.
Okay, sir, my next question to you. How is working in the military different from working in civilian organization?
Yeah, well, I try to treat everything the same. I don't look at anything. Each day to me is the same. I approach each day the same. How well can I do my best? How can I enjoy the day? What can I learn from the day? But being in a military environment, excuse me, is definitely different than being in a civilian environment. When you're in the military, you're defending your country, and it doesn't matter the country. You're defending your country when you're in the military, so you have to be prepared to do things you probably wouldn't want to do if you were not in the military, like go overseas, like go to remote places, leave your family, leave your friends, move around to different places. So that's much different. You don't control where you go. You only control what you do when you get there, and even then, you don't control it. You're told by somebody else. But but that's the biggest difference, I think. But he approached things to be the same way. It doesn't matter whether it's military or civilian. How well can I do this? How can I enjoy it? What can I learn from it? And the challenge is always, you know, anybody can do something. Can you enjoy it? The challenge is with this interview. You want to enjoy this interview. Uh, you can do it and not, or do it and enjoy it. Either way, you will do it. Learn to enjoy everything. The challenge is never to do something. The challenge is to enjoy doing something. If you can learn to enjoy everything you do, make it your most favorite thing in the world. As you're doing it, you're always going to be happy. You're always going to do your favorite thing. And this is the challenge to myself.
Okay, sir, thanks for your answer. My next question to you. What qualities are required to succeed in such a high stakes environment?
Well, one of the biggest things I think, it doesn't matter the environment. One of the most important things is to believe in yourself. If you don't have belief in yourself, how can you expect others to believe in you? If you don't have confidence in yourself, how can you expect others to have confidence in you? So it's really, really important to me in any situation. You learn to believe in yourself and trust your judgments. Don't be afraid to make decisions. Understand sometimes things may go your way, sometimes they don't, but always make the best decision you can. Feel good about your effort. And if it doesn't work, try something else. But that to me is the most important, that belief in yourself. And very few people have it. That's why they have stress. That's why they have pressure. If you believe in yourself, you never have stress. You never have pressure. You just believe you can do it. And you want to really, set a pattern on how to believe in yourself. Most things start with a dream or thought. And you take that dream and you write it down, say, this is my goal. And you ask yourself, what steps do I take to achieve it? Plan very small steps. Don't be in a hurry. The slower the step, the easier it is to achieve. Easier it is to achieve, it helps you build that confidence in yourself and that belief in yourself. And you want to build that very, very slowly. Don't be in a hurry. Very, very slow. You build and you build and you build. One day you will say to yourself, I can do anything. When you believe you can do anything, you will never have stress, you'll never have pressure. So to me, it's so important to have that belief in yourself.
Okay, sir, thank for your answer. So my next question to you, what was your role at NASA exactly?
Uh, my role at NASA was, a civil structural engineer, pretty much the same thing I did in the Air Force, and uh, dealing with roads and bridges and the infrastructure of Kennedy Space Center. One of the things I dealt with was bridges. Florida is a peninsula surrounded by three sides by waters. There's a lot of lakes and a lot of rivers throughout the state. The flight hardware comes on a truck, it comes on a train, has to go over a bridge. And these bridges open and close. They're called expansion bridges. So if the bridges aren't functioning, you can't get the flight hardware to the space center. You can't launch rocket ships. So my function, one of my function was if there was a problem with the bridge, hey, figure out what's wrong with the bridge. How do we fix it? How much does it cost? How do we get it done? So it was really interesting because I got to see everything on Kennedy Space Center, all the launch complexes, all the cool buildings, everything I was able to see.
Okay, sir, thanks for your answer. So my next question to you, how do engineers ensure safety in space missions?
Yeah, well, that's a huge challenge. People don't understand how complicated these launches are, and the millions and millions of things that have to go correctly in order for this launch to happen. So there's many safety built into it. Redundancy, which means you'd have two or three systems doing the same thing in case one fails, another one can take over. Going over and over and over the flight course, going over and over the building of the rockets of the ships, as much can go into safety as possible because it is so incredibly dangerous. It looks easy, it looks like just flying a plane, but it's very complicated. But many people put a lot of effort into it, and I think it's reasonably safe. Nothing is 100% safe, but they're making it as safe as they can, and they're constantly trying to improve.
Okay, sir, thanks for your answer. So my next question for you, what is the most difficult problem you solve at NASA?
Uh, well, I never look at things as difficult. I look at things as a challenge. Try to get hard work and try to get difficult. Try to get these words out of your mind. Instead, replace them with a challenge, an opportunity, a journey, an adventure. I try to make everything fun. I try to approach it in a fun way. So anything that I do, I approach, okay, how can I enjoy this? It's never hard, it's never difficult, it's always a challenge, it's always an opportunity. So I look at everything the same, and it doesn't matter to me whether it's something to do with NASA or it's fixing a lawnmower in my yard. How can I do this the best I can? How can I do the best to make it fun for me and for everybody around me? So I don't really look at one as more important than the other. I think there was a few things at NASA that maybe people might say it was more important than the other, but from my perspective, the idea is to do your best and to enjoy it and to try to make things better for everybody around you.
Okay, sir, thank you for answer. So my next question to you, how does teamwork in such complex projects?
Yeah, teamwork. To me, everything is about teamwork. To me, I'm concerned with AI because everybody is going into AI. They're forgetting the importance of people. The most challenging thing is to get along. Look at the world. We're in a crazy world now. People can't get along, and we have to learn to get along. And teamwork is important. I love sports. I love sports because sports are all about team. You cannot be successful in sports unless you are a team. That means everybody is equal. Everybody has a role. Nobody is more important than the other. It's the same with life. You want to be a team. Right now, you and me are a team. We have a common goal. We're both working towards the same objective. We're equal. I'm not more important than you. I can't do it without you. You can't do it without me. So we're a team. We're equal. And you want to learn to do that with everything you do. Get everybody involved in the decision making process, get everybody's input, let everybody feel they're a part of the process, and try to always get everyone to understand we have a common goal. Nobody is more important, but we each have to do our role in order for us all to be successful.
Okay, sir, thank you for answer. So my next question to you, What advice would you give to someone who dreams of working at NASA but feel it's impossible?
Anything is possible. I believe anything is possible. Uh, it's certainly not easy if you want to be work for NASA, especially if you're not an American citizen. Since it's a government agency, you have to be an American citizen, what makes it very, very challenging for anybody outside the USA. Even in the USA, it's a challenge because NASA is a relatively small organization, and many, many people want to go there. So the positions are few and the opportunities are few, but it is possible. So if you really want to be in Pakistan and you want to try to work for NASA, you have to become an American citizen. Well, how do you do that? You know, right, to me, one of the best ways is try to go to university in America. In order to become a citizen, you have to live here. So first you have to get here. So if you get here through university and you're in university for 4 years, during those 4 years, you can try to find a way to stay after those 4 years. You stay, you become a citizen, you apply to go to NASA. It's like any job in the world. You apply, there's a website you can go to. It's a lengthy process for somebody outside of America. It would probably take the average person about 20 years from the time they think they want to start, if they have to go to university and all those other things. But it's okay. You're going to pass through those 20 years anyway. And even if you don't make it, you'll have a great education and you can do something else. And it's not only NASA. You know, there was one time NASA was the only thing. Now there are many commercial companies. There are many countries going. You know, Pakistan is going to have a space program. India has an awesome space program. There are many, many countries that have space programs, many commercial companies. But that would be my suggestion. You know, you have to get to America, you have to become a citizen. The best way to try to do that is through university. But don't be in a hurry. It's going to take you quite a while. But it's okay. You're going to pass through that time anyway.
Okay, sir. Thank you for answer. So my next question to you: how did you overcome stage fear? Fear.
You know, it's a really interesting question because when I was in high school, I would never give it a talk. I would never get up in front of somebody. I was so afraid to do it. And I happened to do it a couple of different times. And one of the things that was good for me, I was forced to do it one time, and somebody recorded it. And when I recorded it, I saw the recording. I said, "Wow, I'm not so bad." I realized I was better than I thought, and so I got a little confidence, and I got more confidence, and then I realized it's only talking, and it just got easier and easier, and now I do it. People always say to me, "Are you nervous? Are you nervous?" Never be nervous. Be excited. It's the same feeling. Only one is good, one is bad. If you're excited, you feel good about your opportunity. You can't wait to do it because you know you're going to do well. If you're nervous, you're afraid you're going to fail. You mess up. You never fail. You always learn. This is something else. Never be afraid to try something because you never fail. We always learn. And when we learn, become a better and wiser person. So for me, it was just kind of by a series of little steps and little steps. And I really can't believe I do this now. I really amazes me every time I go out and talk in front of a bunch of people. I think, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. But I have fun with it. I enjoy it. And it's only talking. You can't really mess up.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for answer. So my next question to you is: what emotion did you feel while guiding a blind triathlete?
What was the last part of that? By building what? I'm sorry, I didn't quite
A
understand.
blind triathlete.
I'm
Tri-
sorry. Yeah. Oh, that one of the most amazing things I've ever done in my life. So as a sighted guide for a triathlete who's blind, you have a lot of responsibilities. You're swimming, you're biking, you're running. This person can't see. And just think about it. If you have to run for 5 kilometers as fast as you can and you can't see, that's pretty challenging. And you have to ride a bike for 50 kilometers and you can't see. So you're in this dark world and you're doing these athletic things and you're really depending on this person who's guiding you. So there's a lot of responsibility that goes with it. But when I did it with my buddy Randall, we had a special connection. We just got along great. We had so much fun doing it, but it was one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. When we would finish, people would come up to him and be crying and say, "I have a son who's or a daughter who's blind, and you've given them hope. I have a son or daughter in a wheelchair, and then you've given me hope that they can get out of the house and do things." So it was extremely rewarding in the way he affected other people, not me, but he affected other people. I was just a part of it, a really small part of it in my mind, but it is critical that you let this person know what's going on when you're running. You know, you have to say, we're going to turn right, or there's a step up, or we're going from grass to concrete. You have to let this person know because they're running as fast as they can and they can't see where they're stepping. So it's constant feeding of information.
Okay, sir, my next question to you is, how do you manage stress and prayers, pressure?
So, it's interesting because people always say, how do you manage stress? How do you manage pressure? Try to manage it. I say eliminate it. If you eliminate it, you don't have to worry about managing it. So you eliminate it by developing that belief in yourself. Three things I talk about: do your best, enjoy what you do, believe in yourself. If you learn those three things and you apply them to everything you do in your life, you'll never work. Nothing will ever be hard. You'll never have stress. You'll never have pressure. It's all about developing a belief and confidence in yourself. Once you have that, you don't have to manage stress. You don't have to have pressure. You eliminate it because you just believe you can do things. So when you believe you can do something, there's no stress, there's no pressure. You just go do it because you believe you can. And when you enjoy it, you do it better. Sometimes it doesn't work as you think. That's okay. You still have that belief. Okay, I got here. This isn't working. I have to step back, try something else. But you never self doubt. And this is very, very important.
Okay, sir, thank for your answer. So my next question to you is, coding necessary for future engineers?
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you're a future engineer or anything you want to do. To me, I support you in doing. You try to spend yourself. Look, this is where I am. This is where I want to go. If I'm here and I want to be an engineer, how do I get there? You have to plan the steps. So whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, your goal is, okay, I'm here and I have to go there. How do I get there? So each person has to plan it individually. Little steps. Just remember, little steps. Don't be in a hurry. The slower you go, the easier it is. It helps you build that confidence in yourself. And ultimately, you want to build that confidence in yourself till you believe you can do anything. And then your life will get very, very easy.
Okay, sir, thank for your answer. So my next question to you: how can students from Pakistan reach NASA level careers?
So I'm not quite, ask me that again, please. I didn't quite understand.
Um, how can students from Pakistan reach NASA level careers?
I mentioned if you want to come to America and come to NASA, you have to become an American citizen. If in Pakistan, anything you want to do, whether it's in Pakistan or America or anywhere, you have to establish goals. You have to say, okay, I'm here, I want to get there. If you're in Pakistan and you want to become an engineer, or you want to become a doctor, or whatever you may want to do, whether it's there or coming to USA, you have to plan it. How am I going to do this? What sequence of events do I have to do? And so it's always about planning and having goals. You have short-term goals. What am I going to do today? What am I going to do next week? A little bit longer. But mainly, you want to go one day at a time and enjoy that day. It is so important. The journey, people have these big goals and they go crazy trying to achieve that goal and they have a miserable time getting there. That doesn't help anything. You want to enjoy one day at a time. Learn to go day by day, enjoy the day, and feel good about your effort, and you build slowly, slowly to whatever you want to do, wherever it may be.
Okay, sir, my second last question to you: what mistakes should young people avoid?
uh, well, you try to avoid all mistakes, but you really can't. I say you never fail, and you really never make a mistake. You learn. Every time you do something, you learn, and you learn more when things don't go as expected. There's no guarantees. There's no guarantees I must do this interview and it's going to go the way we think. there's no guarantees with anything. All you do, you try to do the best, little steps, and see where it takes you. If you get to some place and you think, well, this isn't going as I thought, you have to step back and go forward again. But you take the knowledge you learned and apply it to the next opportunity. So it's always building and learning and building and learning. To me, it's always about little steps and feeling good about your effort.
Okay, sir, my last question to you. What is the future of space technology?
Oh, I think it's awesome. I think the future is limitless. Right now the only thing that stops us in most cases is money. Imagination is getting more and more. AI is getting more into a factor. I'm not quite sure what that means as far as how advanced quickly we can advance. It depends on the AI ability to learn and to do things, but I think it's unlimited. It's going to take time to do things. One of the biggest issues we have now is speed. If we want to go to Pluto, it takes 10 years. Well, you can't put somebody in a ship for 10 years. So if you want to explore the solar system or even beyond, you have to go thousands and thousands of times faster. So there's many interesting things that are preventing us besides money. But ultimately, it comes down to research and development, which costs money and takes time. But I think it's limitless. And I don't know what it might be like in 50 years from now, but I think it will be really, really interesting. People probably living on the moon, they'll be living on Mars. A lot of things we can't really imagine now in 50 years will probably be reality.
Okay, sir, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. So viewers, this was our interview. I hope you like it. See you in the next interview. Till then, Allah Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad.
Bye, everybody.